Welcome to another episode of Education Matters. My name is Jeff Barrett. I'm the Executive Director of Emily Griffith Technical College. And with me today, I have Joe Sabo, Director of Career and Technical Education Pathways for Denver Public Schools. So welcome, Joe.
Thanks, Jeff.
So talk to me about new initiatives in career and technical education in Denver Public Schools, including some of those exciting recent grant awards I've been reading about.
Sure. Thanks, Jeff. So a little over a year ago, our school board and our senior leadership recognized that there was a real need to grow career pathways for students in Denver, and so we started a study of access to these opportunities across all zip codes, and we built a growth plan for career and technical education that would bring us into the 21st century and that would better serve all students. And the school board reviewed that plan and endorsed it in November of 2013, and shortly thereafter we built some momentum in applying for resources to grow these programs. The district committed some resources on their own, but we were able to secure a $7 million grant from the U.S. Department of Labor. That was a major initiative from the White House in partnership with the U.S. Department of Education. The $7 million was to scale career pathways over grades 9 through 12 in areas aligned with high demand, large numbers of annual job openings in Denver over the next 10 years. And so these opportunities are for high school graduates, for graduates from certificate programs and 2-year programs, as well as 4-year and professional degree programs. So opportunities for our students in the tech sector, in engineering, energy, biomedical, and health sciences, as well as in the finance and in the advanced manufacturing fields in Denver. So areas that we know will require really sophisticated skills, technically, strong soft skills, knowledge of entrepreneurship, and great opportunities for our students post-secondary. So we'll be growing those career pathways in at least 8 Denver high schools over the next 4.5 years, and we expect to serve many more students through these programs. Historically, we've reached about 4,000 students a year in Denver, and we expect to double that number over the next 4 to 5 years.
And when you talk about that number of students in career and tech ed now in Denver Public Schools, there's also been some recent research that you have conducted in regards to completion, graduation rates as it's tied to those students participating in career and technical education versus those students who are not. Expand a little bit upon some of the value there as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So working with a Harvard Strategic Data Fellow last year, we analyzed completion rates, attendance, discipline, all sorts of metrics with our CTE population versus our non-career and technical education population in Denver. And we looked at over 200,000 student records and found that in Denver, differences in actual graduation rates could be up to 30 percentage points between career and technical education pathways participants and those that had not been involved in career and technical education. Similarly, we saw huge differences in attendance and discipline, and so it kind of went along with the storyline that project-based classes that are really relevant engage students, and they see a lot of value for their time in being there and learning. And so this data was consistent with what we've seen nationally in major studies around the U.S. and states and cities, and consistent with research internationally from the Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development. So it just corroborates what I think we already knew about career and technical education. These are our local data. We decided to go back and take it one step further, and I think this is really important in that, we looked at students of comparable backgrounds, same demographics, same academics, from the same zip codes, and we could see that if you and I were identical in nearly every way, but you had access to one of these pathways, and I did not, that your likelihood of completing high school was far higher than mine. And so we know that these are great opportunities for all students to not only prepare themselves for post-secondary, but to find an engagement value in learning, the application of knowledge that's so important for them to get early in their career.
And there's been a recent study that has been conducted by Harvard as well, and Burning Glass is their research entity, looking at the value of career and tech ed, the technical trades for the middle skills jobs. And one of the aspects of that report talked about how business and industry needs to really step up more to the plate, grow your own employee, really contribute. Talk just a little bit about some of the exciting public-private partnerships that Denver Public Schools is engaging in with business and industry, and what's the value to DPS and for its students?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great question. We're really fortunate to have a very engaged business community here in Denver, businesses, community-based organizations, and higher education. And so when we went to them and we started with a few companies locally and said, this is something we'd like to do, the conversation really began around, this is more than philanthropy. In fact, our interest really is workforce development. This is a value proposition to our company because you're developing our youth who will later lead our companies and our city forward with the skills that we need to be successful in. And more than workforce development, it's an economic development strategy for the city of Denver. The more educated and well-trained our population is, the more we can attract great companies and jobs to this city. So, it really ballooned from there. We worked with the Denver Metro Chamber of Commerce, we worked with the Denver Business Journal, and went to many companies around the city. And just to name a few, QEP Resources is a very large energy company in Denver, and they really wanted to invest in engineering for our students, and so we're growing engineering programs in parts of the city that have never previously had that. So where workforce development and the economic needs of a city align, it creates great opportunities for our students in their neighborhoods. Similarly, not every company had said, look, we're able to contribute financial resources to this, but they're able to contribute their time and their energy and their wisdom. And so we work a lot with folks like Denver Health and Anschutz Medical Campus, and our students will go out and participate in job shadows on site. They learn everything from what a certified nurse's assistant does to pediatric surgeons, and they work alongside these professionals in the field and get great exposure. I'd say additionally, the universities are part of this, and so it's about informing what should we be teaching and how it should be aligned not just to the needs of the future industry in Denver, but to really prepare our students well for great post-secondary programs in engineering, biosciences, health, technology, and computer science, and advanced manufacturing. And so I think we have really amazing partnerships that that will inform our work, provide access and opportunities to our students, and help us bring these career pathways to the next level for Denver.
And more importantly than just raising awareness, than just creating job shadowing, internship type programs, which is all important, but Denver Public Schools has also expanded greatly their opportunities in concurrent enrollment. So, and as a parent who had 3 children go through college myself and knowing the cost of that experience, talk a little bit about how Denver Public Schools is committed to increasing concurrent enrollment opportunities outside traditional college courses that you might know of, like college algebra, for instance, or college English, and more along the lines of career and tech education as well.
Right. So concurrent enrollment, as you mentioned, it's an opportunity for our students to gain college credit through high school classes, either because they're taking those classes at the college or university, or because our teacher is adjunct faculty at that college or university, as you know well. And so historically, about 20% of our career pathways classes have been offered for concurrent enrollment, and we really see a huge opportunity here with the expansion of programs to increase that. So this year historically we've had about 4,000 students a year in career pathways. Right. This year we have about 5,000, and so the idea is that in most classes you could take them for concurrent enrollment credit, such that a student could graduate Denver Public Schools with up to 12 concurrent enrollment credits on a normal schedule. So that's almost a year of college credit right away, and we think that just the cost savings to our students and their families are huge, and they've done that at no cost to themselves within our K through 12 system. And they can start as early as 9th grade. Typically they start in 11th and 12th, but students may participate in these classes as early as 9th grade. And we believe that infusing that rigor early on is really essential to making sure that all of our students graduate college and career ready, and that because because our career and technical education classes are so rigorous in robotics and engineering, computer science, information technology, and health sciences, that credit should be there. It's really asking our students to go one step further than theory and to learn the application of knowledge in the real world.
And that's all great work, and fortunately the stigma around vocational technical education has been pretty much removed, I think, and that there's still a lot of work to do as far as marketing, raising that awareness and branding. What are some things that from your shop that you're looking at and trying to engage more students, trying to engage parents, which I think is an important element to understand that the skilled trades area is important and it's a great pathway for their son or daughter to enter into, and has expanded opportunities beyond just a certificate or even a 2-year degree, and can take that pathway all the way up. So
yeah, so that's a great question too. I think that's for us, it's really about choice and opportunity, great schools in every neighborhood, college and career readiness for all students, and care for the whole child. And so when we look to provide these programs, it's about helping our students and families make informed choices. You shouldn't have to wait to find out, when you're a junior or senior in high school, that you could have taken an automotive class at your neighborhood school, or you shouldn't, have to wait to find out that you could have taken a nursing class and then graduated with a workforce credential or gone on to pursue an RN at a college. So we hope to give our students exposure to these options early, even as early as 8th grade with our 8th grade career fair, and seeing what the range of options is in DPS. As 9th and 10th graders, getting them out to lots of opportunities in the community as part of their learning experience in class, and utilizing our counselors. One of the greatest resources we have, our counselors and our teachers, to communicate with students and families, as well as our community engagement specialists, about the importance of college and career pathways, and specifically what steps you can follow in each path, given what your interests might be. So we survey our students to learn more about their interests, and for us this is about 21st century pathways. It's about career pathway preparation, starting in even the 9th grade, that will lead you to top flight universities, great 2-year colleges, strong certificate programs, and great workforce opportunities in Denver that will be really meaningful to you when you graduate high school. So
absolutely.
I think we've got strong alignment there, and we'll continue to reach the community and engage them and help them inform our process and make it even stronger.
All great work. So I guess as we wrap up, what's next? What are the next steps? What are some great initiatives that are in the hopper and you're planning for in the upcoming years?
Yeah, so we have a lot going on. I could just highlight a little bit that we're really excited about. We hope to have world-class work-based learning programs in Denver. We're looking at some of the best around the world, including places like Switzerland, Singapore, and Boston, to understand how you integrate the career pathways into all learning, and then get our students out. So strong internship programs, strong job shadowing and mentoring programs, and we believe that in so doing, we will really need to provide these opportunities at a scale commensurate with the need. So we want to be able to offer these opportunities to many, many, many students across the city and in our school district. And then finally, I would say for us going forward, it's about staying on the cutting edge, and we want to lead the nation in terms of strong STEM, science, math, technology, engineering programs that will prepare our students, our youth, to be competitive around the world with other youth in other cities. And we believe that by delivering that in a strong project-based format, which we're getting better at every day, that our students will be well prepared to tackle those challenges. And I'll add one more. I think we also believe that entrepreneurial education is critical.
Absolutely.
And that'll be a strong part of everything we do in our career pathways. Not teaching our students not only the technical skills they need, but how do you generate revenue from a strong technical skill set and a great idea? What does your business model need to look like? And so we really want to integrate design thinking into our classes, so that we are on the cutting edge of design and innovation and entrepreneurship, as well as post-secondary preparation.
So as you can see, there's a lot of exciting work going on in Denver Public Schools around career and technical education, and we really thank you for taking time out today, Joe, and sharing with us some of these exciting initiatives and working with Denver Public School students. So we'll head to a break, a commercial break, and we'll be right back with Brad Vickers and Shauna Lee from Emily Griffith Technical College.
Nearly 100 years ago, a Denver school teacher by the name of Emily Griffith opened a school. Not just any school, but one where Emily hoped that any working person who had an hour or two to spare may come and study what they could to make life more useful. She knew she wanted to call this school Opportunity. And on September 9, 1916, the doors opened for the School of Opportunity. The popularity of the school was a surprise, as she had hoped for 200 students to enroll that first day. Instead, she ended up with 1,400. The school started with classes ranging from telegraphy to typing, culinary to hairdressing, also English for the immigrants that were flowing into the state so that they too could find meaningful employment, an effort close to Emily's heart. As the needs of the community changed, so did the School of Opportunity, adding courses like machine shop for the war effort and nursing, also many business classes. Emily retired in 1933, and against her objections, the school was renamed in her honor, the Emily Griffith Opportunity School. But the story does not end here. Emily Griffith Opportunity School is now Emily Griffith Technical College, a name that better reflects the current times and needs for the business world. More than 50 career training certificate programs with hands-on education and training in health sciences, business and technology, creative arts and design, and trades and industry.
I love Emily Griffith. I love the teachers, I love the program, I like the people that come here. There's a huge diversity.
And we still have Colorado's oldest and largest English as a second language program with more than 40 day and evening classes.
ESL program is very important for me because I need to improve my level of English. I can here improve my level completely.
Plus, the least expensive college programs in Colorado with financial aid and scholarships. Many students even graduate debt-free.
It has taken care of my education completely. It has paid for my schooling and my supplies.
So many programs to fit any person's needs, and we are still growing.
The vision of Emily Griffith Technical College is to be the premier college of excellence in the delivery of career and technical education. It's very exciting in that we can house most of our functions in this brand new downtown campus, serving our students just as we had in 1916, providing opportunities for all who wish to learn, as well as our location at 200 East 9th, where our video production program is housed, along with our broadcast studio, and our new location, which is currently in design and renovation at 1205 Osage Street, which will house our College of Trades and Industry. With our 50-plus certificate programs spread out among 3 different campuses, we're hoping to build capacity, continue to offer the same grade instruction at the least expensive tuition point in the state of Colorado.
We truly do offer opportunity.
Opportunity.
Opportunity! Opportunity!
Opportunity!
For all who wish to learn.
Welcome back for the second half segment of today's episode of Education Matters. Hi, I'm Jeff Barrett. For this segment, I have Brad Vickers, Instructional Dean, Director of Strategic Support for Emily Griffith Technical College, on my far right. And next to him is Shauna Lee, our newly minted instructor for our new CAD BIM program, to join us and talk a little bit more about this exciting new program. Let's start with you, Brad.
All right.
Lots of new things going on.
Yes.
Moving to a new location in 2015.
Correct.
Some new programs that are coming on board that'll be moving along with the existing programs in the College of Trades and Industry. Talk to us a little bit about some of those exciting new programs.
You bet. Well, we've got manufacturing technology, water quality management, CAD BIM, of course, building trades, and even custodial training. And what's kind of neat about each of these programs is not only they provide quick and fast entry-level training to get you into the workforce, but they're also pathway programs. So if students, for example, in our building trades program really get excited about what they're learning and want to go deeper or want to go further, maybe want to get into design, they could pathway into Shauna's CAD BIM program as an example. Or they may choose to go deeper. Let's say they say, God, I really like the electrical aspect of the building trades or construction, and they could go into an electrical apprenticeship or a carpentry apprenticeship. So some really exciting things in that way.
Okay, so these new programs, what's the length of these programs? Are they expensive to enroll in and take classes?
Length of each program, Shauna's program for CAD BIM, for example, can be done in 1 year. In fact, most of the programs for full-time students in the technical trades can be completed in 1 year if you're a full-time student. Manufacturing, building trades, those programs can be completed in about 5 months. And yeah, so that's really exciting. That's quick training. It allows you to get right into the workforce. Cost, you asked about that. Our programs are very affordable. Less than $2,000 for manufacturing and building trades. For CAD BIM, right around $5,000 to complete that program in 1 year. So very affordable for students wanting to get a really high quality education as well as employment at the end of it.
Okay. So, you know, in talking with Joe Sabo from Denver Public Schools about career and tech ed and the resurgence, if you will, and better awareness around creation of these types of programs, there's a lot of industry support, obviously, for
Yes.
Creation of these types of programs, and there's extensive environmental scanning, I know, that happens from an institutional perspective. And for those in the audience who may not know, 47% of all jobs in this country today are what they call those middle skill jobs, which are what these certificates are very applicable and relevant in providing. So how did these new programs come about?
Well, you know, one of the challenges that we have in our workforce is that we have a graying workforce. There are about 79 million baby boomers retiring over the next 10 years. So many of our industry partners have approached us and said, you know, we're really concerned. We do not have a trained workforce coming in to fill these spaces of which our workers are going to be leaving over the next 10 years and leaving in large numbers. So we work with companies like RK Mechanical, RTD, the City of Westminster Utilities. We're working with them in our water quality program. So these industry professionals have all approached us, as well as the manufacturing sector. You've probably heard a lot about the advanced manufacturing sector, who's approached the educational partners, us, and the community college system to provide training to get people into these industries. And that's where a lot of that groundswell is coming from.
And I know a lot of individuals who may be looking at these types of programs will be asking a lot of questions, obviously. You know, when are they offered? Does this fit my schedule? And I think more importantly, is there a job at the end of this?
Correct.
So does the placement opportunities look pretty strong in these programs?
They do. Right now, just in manufacturing, for example, they say there's roughly about 14,000 unfilled jobs in Colorado, which is huge. Same thing in the building sector. Right now, in fact, we even kind of ran into some of those struggles a little bit, even with our own new building that we're putting up at 12050 Osage. You know, getting the workforce on board and ready to roll, because the demand for construction is so high in Colorado right now. In fact, you look around our skyline and what do you see? Just about every direction you look, you see cranes putting up buildings. So very exciting that our economy has turned around in those areas, and so it's a lot of opportunity for young people. Really is.
So with these new programs and your existing programs in the College of Trades and Industry, do you have pretty strong industry support as well? And give us a couple examples of that.
You bet. So as I mentioned before, we work with many industry partners. RK Mechanical, City of Westminster Utilities, RTD, AAA has recently approached us to establish a partnership, Napa Service Centers. And the reason for that is because, one, the quality, I think the reputation of Emily Griffith has gotten out, the quality of the student that we produce going into the workforce. They know what they're supposed to do, how to do it, and most importantly, we train students to be reliable, that they show up on time every day, that they have the right attitude, they're accountable to their work. And all those things, you know, many of our employers come to us and say, you know, if you can just give us a person that is reliable and that we can count on, we'll train them. The thing is with us, we're going to give them that kind of student, plus we're going to give them the training that they need to get started. And that's really exciting. And I think that's why we have so many really high quality and even well-recognized industry partners.
Well, let's turn to Shauna now and talk about one of those exciting new programs. First of all, describe CAD BIM. A lot of acronyms in the education word. So describe CAD BIM and the types of courses offered in that program, the types of jobs that are awaiting a graduate from these types of programs, and some of the industries that they can work in.
Sure. The program is geared toward CAD and BIM. CAD is computer-aided drafting, and BIM is building information modeling. So it's geared toward the architecture, building, construction sector, and it does have a lot of crossover as well with mapping, rapid prototyping, manufacturing. So there's a lot of crossover with some of these classes, and specifically a lot of software classes. So AutoCAD is an industry standard, but we also have Revit and 3ds Max and Google SketchUp. So lots of software, but also speaking to the workflow, industry process, and practical application. As far as jobs after, again, with a lot of crossover, there's really a lot of opportunity. And Brad was speaking about the steady economic growth that we've been experiencing. So this is great, a lot of opportunity. So it lends itself to manufacturing, mapping, interior design, architecture, engineering, construction. So again, a lot of different pathways, really, really broad areas.
And I would suspect with this kind of higher level of technician training, when I think of the software involved, is there a higher assessment as far as entry level? Do they have to have a certain math score? Do they have to have some prereqs? Or can they just walk in off the street and say, hey, I want to be a CAD operator? So
There actually isn't, not necessarily, but what we can offer is the well-rounded training. And ultimately, at the end of this, what they'll have is a portfolio. So the portfolio of projects, the portfolio that shows design development all the way through construction documents.
Right.
So it's that portfolio that students will be able to present to industry to show what they've accomplished.
You know, as a former instructional dean myself in overseeing programs like CAD, in the past CAD has been more of a 2D, two-dimensional type curriculum, if you will. And then it's very exciting in that you see this 3D element that has been introduced in the recent years with Revit and building information modeling. For those that are laymen, like myself, talk a little bit more about that high-end technology with building information modeling.
Sure, and in fact, I started when I was 11, so...
11?
Yes, I started when I was very young, so for me it was also on the 2D side. That was, well, even prior to that, of course, was all hand drafting, but it's definitely evolved into this realm of 3D modeling. And for building information modeling, what that means is that you have a 3D model with which you can work, and you're inputting data, building that building, and at the same time getting data back. So it's that information that is getting acquired. So all this data, which is the estimating costs, 4D, time, energy, and everything that actually goes into the project. So there's a lot of information there.
I understand that even for incumbent workers, those that are already employed in this field, but yet have been in the field for a while and haven't really had an opportunity to learn the new technology, is there room in this program for someone to enter and get classes in Revit, let's say, if they haven't been exposed to that?
Oh, absolutely. We have a lot of seasoned professionals, architects, engineers who come back in for training, and they really, really help with the learning environment because they're bringing a lot of experience to the classroom as well. So they have knowledge and experience and have worked in all these different realms. And for them, they're able to take away that technology and apply all of their practical experience and, again, come up with projects and that technical side as well.
And when I think of technicians in this field, or think of even engineers on down the line, if they acquire more post-secondary experience, it's still a male-dominated field in some ways, and it's exciting to see a female instructor in the program because I think it's important for non-traditional students to look at those programs in which they can be very successful. Can you talk from your perspective as a woman and in this field, some of the challenges and some of the exciting opportunities?
It's definitely both sides, challenges and opportunities. Of course, when I was younger going through, I was often the only female in my drafting and engineering classes. That was pretty consistent, but it's not really that way anymore. It has evolved, and I have some classes now where they're female dominated. So you'd be
That's
surprised.
exciting.
A lot of interest because of the hands-on and because of the learning environment, a lot of group projects, a lot of collaboration. You get a lot of teamwork, and with that, you have a lot of different personalities. And as far as students that might have typically been underrepresented, it's definitely changed.
Wow, well, that's exciting indeed. So, in wrapping up, Brad, just inform folks, new campus, 1205 Osage.
1205
50,000
Osage.
square feet
Yep.
of state-of-the-art facility. When are we moving in?
So we'll be moving in, you know, we're hoping that the building will be complete this spring, and I'll be moving in July. Many of our students who are going to be completing this year are kind of bummed, but you know, we got a lot of students that'll be carrying over, and the thing that's really exciting about the new space is the technology that we've brought to the building, the fresh environment that we bring to the building. We've really spent a lot of time and energy making sure that the learning environment for students is going to be just top notch. It's going to be a great place for students to learn, and they're going to be learning on the highest industry level of equipment. We've got the finest instructors, of which Sean is a great representative, and so we're really excited about what's coming up in this next year.
Wow,
We really are.
I'm excited as well. So I want to thank Brad Vickers,
Thank you.
Instructional Dean for College of Trades and Industry. I want to thank Shauna Lee, one of our new instructors for our new CAD BIM program at Emily Griffith Technical College. And I want to thank you at home for watching another episode of Education Matters.